Now that I've gotten on the internet, I'd rather be on my computer than doing just about anything.
It's really cool. It's really cool. It's really cool.
Great. Yeah, downloading is easy too. You know, I can even send email on the internet.
Today is Saturday, August 11th, 2018, and this is Crypto Unqualified, keeping you up to date with unique perspectives on everything happening in crypto. My name is Benjamin, and across the table is my co-host Nathan, who until yesterday thought purple was a flavor.
It's not? That's way better than yesterday. You might be dying today, but at least your jokes are a little better.
My brain's not dying quite as bad as it was
Benjamin
yesterday.
might die during this episode, so please leave some comments saying some nice things about him, and just in case we can read it at his eulogy.
Send me white light.
White light. What is that?
Nothing. I don't know. It's something hippies say.
This week's show is brought to you by SeattleCrypto.com, because no matter what anyone says, Seattle is a real city, and it deserves its own crypto website, and because we own it.
We own that thing. So first up is a market overview, and looking at the market.
Benjamin, the market is getting dumped more than a Victoria's Secret model by Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a good, that's what's happening right now.
That darn Leo.
Yeah.
Dumping on the market.
Everything is just red. Although yesterday when we were doing this, it was down worse than it is today. We were looking at, Neo's at $18. It sucks.
Yeah.
So
unless you're in Tether, which I'm conflicted with that anyway, but
there is true USD. Bittrex is a stable coin.
Indeed. But like I've been saying for weeks, almost a month now, even when Bitcoin rallied off the 6,500 level and went all the way up to about high nines, almost 10, and then tanked back down, tried it again. I mean, we're kind of ping-ponging back and forth into a larger pattern, which will ultimately break out bullish if history is any teacher.
Has Bitcoin printed a weekly green candle in the last 3 months?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the last time that I showed my Bitcoin chart on the show, we were expecting to see a green candle, and I was saying this is good news with some reservation. The SCMR trends indicators painting this weekly Bitcoin candle blue, which is a potential bullish reversal. But don't count your chickens till they're hatched. Don't count your eggs until they're hatched, et cetera, et cetera. And it printed one. It printed a bullish reversal, and then a green candle, which generally indicates the overall trend. But all we got was one. We got one, and it sold off, and now we're looking at red again, and now price is lower. Almost there. There. So as you can see on the screen, we've got this weekly Bitcoin price chart, which I show every once in a while. And we've got our large blue potential reversal candle, followed by a green. That should have been great news.
What is it about blue that could be a reversal?
It's just a different colored candle. So, and I don't know how this system looks at the data behind the scenes. It's proprietary, but it looks at all the market data that's available for whatever pair that you're charting, and based on volume and price and it's all of those different factors, it can tell where a potential reversal will happen, a bullish reversal.
So blue is a bullish sign.
Blue is a potential bullish reversal. It doesn't mean
wait, bullish reversal?
Yeah, so
meaning reversing to go bullish.
Exactly.
Okay.
So price is either declining or going flat. When you see a blue, that's a signal, but you have to wait until it confirms. Generally, it confirms with a green candle. So blue is a bullish reversal. That's potential. Green is a confirmed, trend, because green is bullish, red is bearish, but within I think 4 candles of that blue, that reversal can get negated, and that's what's happened.
Isn't blue just case sensitive with the software that you have, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you wouldn't normally see that on Bittrex or anything like that.
No, my charts are specific to the Spider Crusher market research suite of products.
Say that 10 times fast.
No, Google it. But so the long and the short of it is, Bitcoin is back to bearish, and most notably, if this current weekly candle closes below where that blue candle opened, bad things will happen.
Okay.
That means that further sell-offs are imminent, and
yikes.
Yeah, yikes indeed.
So we've been doing. Are you done with that?
Yeah, that's
okay.
it.
So we've been doing top 3 gainers in the last 30 days. So we take the out of the top 150 market cap coins, we pick the top 3 that have had the biggest gains in the last 30 days. So I've got those 3 coins.
We've been doing them.
Yeah.
We've never done it on the show yet.
Not to where people have seen it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Not for lack of trying.
The last 30 days, the 3 coins that have had the biggest gains are, let's see, we got Chainlink with 41%, up 41%, Z Classic, which is up 69%, and Metaverse, which is up 77%. And I'm not going to go into depth on all of them. I'll read a little bit about them. Chainlink is a decentralized Oracle service, the first of its kind. Looks like it's aiming to link the real world to blockchain.
The blockchain world.
So if you're holding Chainlink, congratulations.
Currently trading at 25 cents.
Z Classic is next, up 69%. Z Classic is a fork of Zcash founded by Rhett Creighton. It says here, Creighton's reasoning for forking was that Zcash's founder's tax and closed-door private funding round with top VC firms and Bitcoin whales was unfair. So congratulations if you're holding Z Classic.
Currently trading at $12.17.
And then last but not least is Metaverse, which is up 77%. Metaverse is a decentralized platform based on blockchain technology. Metaverse is building a web of smart properties and establishing an open ecosystem in which digital value can be circulated freely.
All good things.
All 3 of these find consensus through proof of work. So
And
I think they can be mined, right?
Yeah.
Through proof of work?
Yeah.
Right.
And Metaverse is trading at about 250 right now.
Perfect.
And it's just looking back at the last, I mean, the 30-day charts, they look good. Sometimes you can get these things that just spike up, sporadically, but at least for the Metaverse chart, it looks pretty consistent. Just a nice, slow, gradual climb, which in the current market environment is something.
Something.
It is.
And see, next we talk news.
Yeah.
Cool.
Bring it on. What you got?
I've got some new news here coming out of IBM. Looks like IBM and Danish transport and logistics giant Maersk have launched their global blockchain-enabled shipping solution, codenamed TradeLens.
TradeLens.
Yeah. It says the new jointly developed blockchain solution revealed 94 organizations involved in 154 million shipping events already captured. The global supply chain platform has been dubbed TradeLens, and its data set is reportedly growing at a rate of close to 1 million shipping events a day.
Global trade functions much as it has since the introduction of the shipping container in 1956. Manual, paper-based processes are still common, and information about the status of goods is locked away in organizational silos. Today, 90% of goods in global trade are carried by the shipping industry, with the supply chain slowed by the complexity and sheer volume of point-to-point communication across a loosely coupled web of land transportation providers, freight forwarders, customs brokers, governments, ports, and ocean carriers. Blockchain provides secure data exchange and a tamper-proof repository for these documents and shipping events. This system could significantly reduce delays and fraud, saving billions of dollars annually. And according to the WTO, reducing barriers within the international supply chain could increase worldwide GDP by almost 5% and total trade volume by 15%. For more information on how IBM can help make blockchain right for your business, please visit ibm.com/blockchain.
I don't like the name. I think
TradeLens?
all of that's awesome. TradeLens to me doesn't say anything about global logistics tracking.
So what is it trying to do? It says IBM and Maersk say that the new blockchain-enabled platform is expected to bring multiple trading partners a single shared view of a transaction without compromising details, privacy, or confidentiality, further integrating Internet of Things and sensor data that allows for the monitoring of a range of variables from temperature control to container weight. It says it's going to simplify a gamut of basic operational questions, for example, determining the location of a container from 10 steps involving 5 middlemen to a single disintermediated step. So it's going from 10 steps to 1 step. That's efficient. That's efficiency.
It is 10 to 1.
Another reason to have confidence in the future of the blockchain.
I honestly believe, like, for things that depend on supply chain management and just authenticity and verification of that process, companies will they'll start to get penalized for not using blockchain because it's immutable and verifiable. It's not just, a database that anybody can just update and like, oh, yeah, that shipment arrived, and it's still the same organic bananas.
Well, it's real time too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's right there.
Nobody slipped in some pesticide-laced bananas that were produced cheaper.
I think we talked a couple weeks ago, I don't think this made the show, but there was that lettuce that was tainted. I think it came out of a restaurant or something, and some people got sick. But what happened was, like, not just the restaurants, but supermarkets, they all had to pull this lettuce. Had that been on a blockchain, you would have seen exactly where that lettuce came from, and some stores that pulled all this lettuce could have essentially kept it on the shelves. There would have been thousands of dollars would have been saved.
I feel like that's happened again, even since then.
I feel like it happens every couple of weeks.
Romaine lettuce. Just don't eat it.
Hey, why don't you talk about the upcoming EOS fork?
I'll talk about as much as I've been able to find out about it. So EOS, as we have discussed in the past, is a new take on a more scalable blockchain, like a platform blockchain like Ethereum. So Ethereum is a blockchain that allows you to run Turing complete applications, smart contracts. You can write code, have it live on the blockchain, and have it go forever. The problem with Ethereum, as we've discussed, is it can't scale. You've got one backbone, and every application builds on top of that single backbone and bogs down the whole system with ever-increasing transactions. So there's a number of different solutions to that problem, one of which is the EOS network. And EOS went live a few months ago with their mainnet, and they're doing things that are dramatically different, immensely scalable, but also they're trying to tackle difficult issues like governance, having instituted or trying to institute a constitution, which is almost like a terms of service for using their blockchain in good faith. Needless to say, it's been messy. And you've got, these, they call them block producers. There's 21 block producers for the EOS network, and they get incentivized, they get paid to help secure the network. There can only be 21, and they get paid pretty well to handle all these transactions. You can think of it like Bitcoin miners, right? But there's only 21 of them. Well, there was hundreds of applicants to become block producers for the EOS network, and they're still involved. They're still eager to further, the EOS software and blockchain in general, but they're not block producers now. They're not earning anything for all their hard work that they've done up to date, all the investment that they've done up to date, and they're just watching the EOS network just kind of get mired in these really hard problems to solve. So what they've done is they said, we're going to fork EOS. EOS is only 2 months old. They're going to hard fork it into another network called Telos. And as cool as that sounds, even cooler is they're gonna give a 1-to-1. If you were holding EOS tokens, when this hard fork happens, you will also have Telos tokens.
Based on the Genesis block, right?
Yeah, based on the original snapshot when EOS went live. So
live out of ICO, right?
Live to mainnet is when that snapshot
when the ICO
happened.
ended back in June, basically.
Effectively,
yeah.
So there's more information that you can find on it by going to DutchEOS.io. They have a whole list of bullet points on why Telos matters. I'll just give you a couple of them. One of the most important problems that the Telos team is trying to solve is the token distribution. They're trying to make it more decentralized and more fair. So what they've done is they've said, when we hard fork, if you had EOS at the time that the Genesis snapshot happened, you will also have one Telos, but that's only good up to 40,000. So what they've done, to put it in layman's terms, is they've cut out all the whales, all of the uber rich deep pocket players who during the EOS ICO just scooped up a whole bunch of EOS and can then use that to manipulate governance and markets and things. They've just eliminated all those people. By doing that, they've eliminated 3/4 of the total supply, but they've only impacted less than 1% of the wallets that are out there.
Yeah, it says right here, according to the Telos white paper, 1.6% of EOS holders own 90% of the tokens.
Yeah.
The largest holder by far, with 10% of the total supply, is Block.1, the company behind the EOS IO protocol, aka Dan Larimer's project.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
and
dude.
that comes with voting power. Having, if you had we'll just say if you had 100,000 EOS and I had 1,000 EOS, and we were both voting for a block producer, you would have 100,000 more in voting weight than I do. My vote would basically count for nothing because you've got so much more than I do.
That's not fair.
No. I mean,
fair is fair, and that's not fair.
I mean, there's different ways to look at it. You can call it fair, but it's more equitable. It's more decentralized. It puts things like voting and governance more in the middle instead of weighting it all the way at the end to where, money bags have amassed millions of these things.
I wonder how Block.1 feels about this fork. I mean, with them holding so much.
That's a good question. I don't know. Should tweet at him.
Yeah. Larimer, what do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah. Super interesting, and we'll keep up to date on this story as it unfolds as far as when Telos will go live, when the mainnet will launch.
Yeah. You can also go to telosfoundation.io. I believe that is their main information distribution channel.
So this is a story that came out this morning. It says Facebook's David Marcus quits Coinbase to avoid appearance of conflict of interest.
I saw that article. I didn't read it though.
So he's been on the board of Coinbase, and now he's saying he's no longer going to be on the board, so he can, strictly join back up with Facebook. Why do you think that would be a conflict of interest? Do you have an opinion on that?
I mean, to me, that signals that Facebook is getting heavy into blockchain technologies.
That's what I think too.
And I mean, otherwise he would not do that.
Yeah. Maybe he was sent there as a spy.
Plot twist.
Dude, movie, blockbuster. There was a rumor that came out this morning that Facebook was teaming up with Stellar Lumens, and then about 2 hours later, a Facebook representative came out and said that is not true. But a lot of people think that they are gonna work on their own blockchain. I think they've got 2 billion. No, how many? How many people are on Facebook?
There's billions. I think at least 2 billion.
Is it 2.6 billion?
Yeah, I think something like that.
So if they can integrate their own blockchain with their own.
So here's one thing that I
currency.
saw when I was just flipping through crypto Twitter, as regards to the IBM use of Stellar.
Yeah.
People were saying, and do your own research because this is just, I haven't vetted this at all. People were saying that IBM is not necessarily going to be buying up Stellar,
Right.
but they'll be using the IBM blockchain technologies in conjunction with Stellar and using Stellar as a settlement layer.
Right.
So while Facebook could also, say, no, we're not doing anything with Stellar, they might still be using Stellar as a settlement layer, but they don't, they're trying to like not spook the market.
Yeah.
Or look like that there's insider trading or what have you. We don't know. Ultimately, we don't know yet. And these companies will say whatever they feel like they can get away with saying.
And they want to make as much money as possible, so
Yeah.
they don't want to leak something out that. But I mean, we talked about how young this market is, and we're going to talk about that a little more in a minute. But to me, this is very interesting.
Just the fact that we're starting to hear company names like IBM and Microsoft and Facebook and Starbucks used in the same sentences with technologies like Stellar and Bitcoin and just blockchain. I mean, things are starting to move, and I think these companies, if they could avoid, integrating with a new technology like blockchain or utilizing it, they would. It costs money, it takes time, it takes mental energy from smart people that they have to hire. They have to. There's no other option. Blockchain is the wave of the future.
The way of the future. The way of the future. The way of the future. The way of the future.
Well, and it's got to scale from here on out, especially if you're Facebook dealing with 2 billion people. I mean, if you're building a blockchain, and maybe that's why they would use Stellar, because they can piggyback on top of one for. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind to me is kind of like what they're seeing Steam do it, is maybe tipping on their platform. Tipping on their platform for
Everything, anything.
people publishing, whatever.
Yeah. But instead of getting your revenue from advertisers, which you're then beholden to, the advertisers, why not pay the content producers directly, your customers?
I can't see Facebook doing that, because that's how they make money.
That's how they make money now.
Yeah.
But who's to say that's how they'll be able to make money in the future?
Well, if people are making their own money with their own material, then where does Facebook make money?
I think there is money to be made in advertising, even on blockchain technologies. But a content producer, like YouTubers and the like, they're going to be more incentivized, especially the ones that are just coming up, to use a service like Steemit or like DTube that pays them for producing the content, for producing quality content, and then other people that consume that content can also tip them and pay them again for their work, instead of somebody who's just coming up putting out the best content that they can but doesn't ever get monetized for it because they haven't hit that threshold of monetization. I really think that something like Steemit and DTube are going to eventually overtake that business model.
So we are plugging Steemit right now.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Steemit.
I don't own Steemit. Do you own Steemit?
I do.
Okay. There you go.
There's also there's many others that are trying to do that. I think Steemit's probably an example of one that's working. A little bit slow.
It's got a long way to go. It's not as good a service as YouTube.
But if you wanted to see an example of that working, check out Steemit and see what you think.
Yeah. You can find us on Steemit also at How Unqualified.
Yes. So onward and upward, since the market is bleeding, we thought that we would try to find a silver lining. And what is our silver lining? Well, first let me play my sound bit.
What is that you're playing? I don't recognize that at all.
No? Not at all?
Mm-mm.
Where were you in like...
Is that how turtles talk to each other?
So, where were you in like 1992 when you first heard that?
I was probably in a Yahoo chat room.
So what is that sound? If people that don't know, maybe the young generation that maybe two of them that might be watching.
That was the sound of internet. Like that's what it boils down to. That's the sound that you would hear when you would log in to the internet via a service like America Online or Yahoo or something like that. When you wanted to get online and do things, you had to use your telephone, and that's the exact sound that it would make.
America Online, a new way to use your computer to communicate, have fun, and get instant news and information.
How long have you had this?
About a week. And it's so easy. All you do is point and click.
But how does it work?
All you need is a computer and a regular phone line. They send you the software and give you 10 free hours to check it out.
And the reason I played that is because we wanted to talk about the future of blockchain, the future of crypto, and the adoption of blockchain and cryptocurrency versus the adoption of the internet, to maybe shine some light on the potential future of blockchain and cryptocurrency. And Benjamin, can you pull up that chart? You still have that?
I do.
So what are you looking at?
All right. So what I'm looking at here is, it looks like a Medium post, and I'm looking at a bunch of gray lines. There's some numbers. I see words.
So what this is a reflection of where the internet was at globally. That red mark you see there is 1998, and the 3 represents what percent of the global population had internet in their household.
So the numbers on the top of the bars are percentages. The numbers across the bottom, those are years.
That's the date, yeah. So in 1998, 3% of the global population had internet in their household. Basically, I guess that would be a computer. And then fast forward to the end of the graph, you've got 2016, where there was 46% of the global population had internet in their household. And I believe currently it's about 51%. And what this tells me is that why it's red right there at 3, it says we are here in crypto. That's a representation of the global population that has either a online exchange account, like let's say Coinbase or
crypto
exchange account, maybe Binance. So 3% of the global population is involved in crypto right now. So to me, that tells me how young this, whether you call it an asset class or a technology, or it's really both, or money, or digital money.
It's all kinds of things.
I mean, it hasn't even really started to be adopted yet. So where the internet was hypothetical here at 3% in 1998, nobody knew if there was going to be a need for it. Some people thought only criminals were going to use it.
And why would you need to log into a computer and talk to someone? You could just pick up the phone at the time.
Yeah.
You could send them a letter.
Right.
What do you write to it, like mail?
No, a lot of people use it and communicate. I guess they can communicate with NBC writers and producers. Allison, can you explain what internet is?
Like nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to talk to it.
Why would you need a TV? What would a TV do?
I mean, these telephone things are just a fad anyway.
Stupid. So what do you got thoughts on that?
Man,
silver lining?
Absolutely. I mean, the market is down across the board, and if the only thing you are concerned about right now is price, you're missing the bigger picture. because we are still early days. People who are getting into blockchain right now are still the early adopters, one of the earliest, which is crazy to me to think about. But that's just, I mean, this chart just shows it. What I see in this chart is vast potential.
Yeah.
And there's just until products that are customer facing start getting built on top of blockchain technologies, there's no telling what it's all going to be used for. Just like how in 1998, when you were logging into AOL with that, to talk to somebody in a chat room from Australia, you had no idea how internet as a service was going to fundamentally change the way global business operated.
What did you use it for in the beginning? I mean, when you were first on the internet, like, do you remember, was it email, or were you just...
Yeah, mostly email. I did a lot of studying online. I was really dumb with math.
Yeah.
So I had to teach myself math.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the bulk of it. Just like getting online and finding things, finding cool things, finding cool websites.
I was playing online poker. Like, I was just...
Really?
Yeah, just thought it was awesome.
Yeah. I do remember playing online poker.
But that wasn't probably a little later on, till 97.
I remember
98.
Do you remember GeoCities?
No.
It was one of the first attempts at social media.
No, I don't remember that.
You could create your own web page. Super clunky. Absolute nerds only, really.
I wonder who worked on that. You know, I wonder if they went on to do some of these other with these other companies.
I think it was a Yahoo product.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yahoo was big in the beginning.
Yeah,
Yahoo, AOL.
There was a lot of heavy hitters back in the day that just died.
Is there still AOL email accounts?
I don't know.
Oh.
I haven't heard.
Let us know if you have an AOL email account. If you're anybody out there,
comment in the comment section if you have an AOL email account.
That'd be interesting to know.
And why.
And so you had some bold predictions from people historically you were going to talk about.
Yes, and this is to cap us off, just because it's so much fun to look at throughout history, and as to backtrack, as we look at charts like what you were just showing, which shows us still at the early days of crypto and blockchain, with so much more room to grow and so much more potential as far as products that we could see down the line. With price as low as it is, you're going to have your detractors. You're going to have the people that are super smart, all these professors and whatnot, saying, "Oh,
haters,
haters going to hate." Yeah. What's the word?
They hate us because they ain't us.
That's right. And you got to take those things with a grain of salt. And if you can see, further down the line than what price is doing right now, you'll be in a better position than if you just kind of take at face value what some smart people are saying about crypto today. And proof of that is looking back at what smart people have said about groundbreaking technologies in the past, like this one from 1880 about the light bulb.
Wow.
Everyone acquainted with the subject will recognize it as a conspicuous failure.
The light bulb?
The light bulb. That's Henry Morton, president of the Stevens Institute of Technology.
Wow.
And he's talking about Edison's light bulb. That guy was fucking wrong.
Yeah, you just sweared.
That's okay.
Okay.
He was wrong.
Yeah.
Like, in a bad way.
Yeah.
1946, television won't last because people will soon get tired of staring at a plywood box every night.
Wow.
That's Daryl Zanuck, movie producer, 20th Century Fox.
Why do you think he said that?
Because he's an idiot.
Okay, that's what I thought too.
Okay, so people like to think that if something is groundbreaking and a sea change, paradigm shift technology, that they'll be able to see it. They'll be the ones that will be able to know one way or the other. They're smart, right? They can see these things coming, and if they didn't discover it, it's just a scam, or it's they're implicitly biased, and a lot of these people are in a competitive market, so they're intrinsically biased. But some of them are just idiots. Like, I mean,
another one.
1876. This telephone has too many shortcomings to be seriously considered as a means of communication.
Wow.
That's
because they preferred mail.
I guess so.
Sending the horse and carrier.
Okay, well, so basically what this is saying to me, that was a Western Union internal memo. The telephone has too many shortcomings to be seriously considered as a means of communication. Groundbreaking technologies are not always, amazing out of the gate. I'm sure, like back in the day when telephones were first starting to proliferate into American homes, there was like switchboard operators who would have to unplug one line. They'd get a call in. Okay, who do you want to talk to? Mrs. Jones? All right, let me connect you. They would take their line, plug it into Mrs. Jones' line. This is,
Could you imagine? I'd like to have one of those switchboards. That'd be a cool piece of history to have. It would. Yeah.
But that's almost unusable. Yeah. And like other people could pick up their phone and hear someone else's conversation. Like technology has a long way to go to be what it will ultimately be. And blockchain's no different. But to say that it's, unusable or shouldn't be taken seriously, that's overreach. In 1995, the truth is no online database will replace your daily newspaper.
Wow.
Clifford Stoll Newsweek article entitled "The Internet ? Bah."
I mean, the internet really did put a lot of printing places out of business. A lot of those mom and pop. Actually, remember the little nickel?
Yeah.
There was a yellow thing you'd see at gas stations. That's gone, right?
I feel like publications like that one are still viable because they're so small. They have limited overhead. They've got a real niche audience. But I mean, if you're like this guy, if you're Newsweek, if you're publishing to a large audience, or like the New York Times, like nobody's reading a newspaper first thing in the morning. That's not how people consume media anymore.
I actually do enjoy reading a newspaper in the morning.
Well, you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
But if you are an actual newspaper subscriber, you are in the very small minority these days.
Yeah. It's more of like a creature of habit thing for me. It's something about coffee and a newspaper.
Yeah.
I don't get it here at the house, but sometimes I'll stop into Starbucks and get a newspaper with a coffee.
Yep.
Spend maybe 5 minutes reading it, and then I'm up and out.
Yep.
So was that? What was the horse one, real quick?
Here's the last of your silver linings for very bad future predictions. This comes from 1903. The horse is here to stay, but the automobile is only a novelty, a fad.
Wow.
And that's the president of the Michigan Savings Bank advising Henry Ford's lawyer not to invest in the Ford Motor Company.
Man.
And you would look at him in his day as someone who's well-educated, smart guy, knows what he's talking about, to be listened to, and it's never too late to be wrong.
Well, I think that's a great silver lining.
It is. And then?
I think that's it, man. Benjamin,
I'm gonna die.
hope he's, like I said, he might die today, so leave some nice comments. Tell him what a great job he's done.
Man, just not coughing my brains out through the whole thing.
Well, I think that's it for today. I think we talked about everything we're going to talk about.
Yep.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, after you.
That's it. That's all I had to say. Yeah.
If you like the show, or if you have questions, let us know in the comments section below, and be sure to hit that subscribe button so we can help you stay up to date on what's happening in crypto. Or if you'd prefer a more direct approach, you can find us on Steemit and Twitter at How Unqualified,
or at Crypto Kahuna,
or at Ninja Benjamin. And for a deeper dive into crypto essentials and a full archive of the Crypto Unqualified show, just head straight over to seattlecrypto.com.
Do it.
And that's it for today.
I'm Nathan.
And I'm Benjamin.
Have a great day.